Welcome back. This is the 27th segment of our series, Because It's True, making the case for Christianity in bite-sized pieces. Now, of all of the issues, of all of the questions that could be and should be explored concerning the credibility of the Christian faith, there are two that are absolutely crucial, that are absolutely essential, because it is upon these two that the Christian faith either stands or falls. It's upon these two that the Christian faith and all that surrounds it is either sustained or crumbles. And these two questions have to do with the identity of Jesus. And was he raised from the dead? So first of all, to reiterate, at the core of the Christian faith is Jesus' own claim to be God incarnate, God in the flesh, having entered into time and space and history as a man, as himself, Jesus Christ. And make no mistake, Jesus made these claims verbally and demonstrably. He claimed to be God. Three examples would be when he says, the Father and I are one, of one essence. Or when he says, when you have seen me, you have seen the Father. And most unavoidably telling was when he was confronting religious leaders, the Pharisees, and he says to them, before Abraham was, I am. A claim that the Pharisees recognized to be one of an eternal nature of pre-existence, of deity. And they got so upset at what they claimed to be blasphemy, they tried to stone him. But Jesus not only claimed to be God, he acted like he thought he was God. He asserted authority to forgive sins, and he accepted people's worship of him. Never when people bowed and worshiped did he say, wait, don't do that, get up, that's not right, that's inappropriate. No, he accepted their worship. So there's no question that Jesus thought of himself as being God incarnate. Now then, the hinge question for us is, if he is not who he claimed to be, who was he? Well, the first option would be, perhaps, that it was all legend. He had some enthusiastic followers who just made these stories up in order to gain momentum for a movement. The problem with that is that the four Gospels were written during the lifetimes of Jesus's contemporaries. So for them to make up these stories that were then widely circulated and widely accepted as being true would be like someone coming along today and making the claim in a biography that Harry Truman or Dwight Eisenhower or John F. Kennedy had claimed to be God and had asserted the authority to forgive sins and had accepted worship. See, there are too many people around today who knew and remember Eisenhower or Truman or JFK, and they just simply know that it's not true. Those stories would not be accepted. Now, a second option, and that is that Jesus, he just lied. He was a charlatan. He came on and deliberately deceived his followers in order to put authority into his teachings. How could you challenge what I'm saying? Because, after all, I'm God. Now, many who deny the deity of Jesus will at the same time affirm that he is a great moral teacher. But a great moral teacher would not lie about being deity, for goodness sake. And someone who would do that, knowing that it was not true, and then did not recant the claims about the time the hammer and the nail were about to do wreckage to his hands, no, that person would be emotionally unbalanced, to say the least. Which leads us to our third option, and that is that Jesus was crazy. He was emotionally unbalanced. I mean, you and I have at least heard of, if not known, people who claim to be someone they're not. They may even claim to be God. They may even claim to be God by claiming to be Jesus. Those people are institutionalized. And when you look at their claims, and when you look at their behavior, the behavior that matches that of an unbalanced personality, they are very different from the character and the personality that we see in the life of Jesus. There simply is no evidence of imbalance or abnormality of a deranged person in Jesus. Instead, under pressure, he exhibits the greatest composure. So our fourth option is that it's true. And that is the option that, to me, makes the most sense. C.S. Lewis famously summarized this beautifully in his book, Mere Christianity, where he writes, "I'm trying here to prevent anyone from saying the really silly thing that people often say about him. I'm ready to accept Jesus as a great moral teacher, but I don't accept his claim to be God." That's the one thing we mustn't say. A man who was merely a man and said the sort of things Jesus said wouldn't be a great moral teacher. He'd either be a lunatic on a level with the man who says he is a poached egg, or he'd be the devil of hell. You must make your choice. Either this man was and is the Son of God, or else a madman, or something worse. You can shut him up for a fool. You can spit at him and kill him as a demon, or you can fall at his feet and call him Lord and God. But don't let us come with any patronizing nonsense about his being a great human teacher. He hasn't left that open to us. He didn't intend to.